This is not going public, is it?
Welcome to La Casita Martinez, where we indulge in the art of deep conversation and vulnerability in pursuit of self-love, self-expression, and self-value. I am your host, Samantha Martinez. On this week's episode, we switch things up. Your girl's in the hot seat. Listen in as we walk through my journey of self-discovery and empowerment, and what I would say to my younger self, given what I know now.
Samantha.
Hello.
And we are back.
We are back.
Thank you for having me back on the show. It's
I
exciting.
told you you were going to be back.
So hello, everyone. I'm back. But this is all about you. We're switching roles
it up.
this time. It is not about me. It's all about you. So we're going to start with, who is Samantha?
Who is Samantha? Who am I to you?
Oh.
I'm just kidding. Samantha is a Latina woman. She is a believer in Jesus, a mom, a wife, a sister or daughter, a friend, an educator. I love to empower other women, uplift other people. As of recently, really have gotten into or in tune with mental health, self-love, appreciating like the little things in life. Because of a situation that I went through recently, I had to pause. It caused me to like stop in my tracks and be like, okay, if things that really meant a lot to you or like kind of you identified as were taken away from you, who are you? And I feel like that's the space that I am. That's who Samantha is right now, is really understanding and like digging deep as to like, who are you if you just take everything away, you know?
Wow,
take
sounds
away
like a rebirth.
Yeah.
That's
Ooh,
good.
Born again.
Even as a believer, I love that. Well, if you wanted to know, listeners, Samantha to me is a very, very good friend.
Yes.
Thank you for being such a good friend. Because in that you listed you're a friend, you're a mom, you're so many excellent things, especially educator as well, and leader in education.
Mm-hmm.
But you're a very good friend to me. So I want to say thank you to that. You try, but you do it.
Yeah.
You
it's
authentically do it. It is very important. You're very intentional and purpose driven with who you are close to. But not enough about me. Back to you. This journey that you talk about being reborn, how has that been for you?
It's been amazing.
Okay.
It's been really like a journey that I've never been on. And I'm 36 years old, and it's crazy that it's happening at this time. But I'm also so thankful because I'm pretty like centered in who I am. I just kind of had to dig deep and be able to like articulate that and show that and showcase that. But with having two daughters and being in the stage of life that I am and being able to be a mentor to younger women, younger girls, it's a really critical time. And I'm so thankful for that time, even though when the situation happened, I was like I said, stopped in my tracks and was like, wait, what? Was not on my bingo card. I didn't think this was going to happen. But now I'm understanding why that is. So that this journey of like self-love, self-exploration, self-value has been beautiful. And it has brought about this podcast and my styling page and just like the affirmations that I do on Monday that are really like speaking to myself. Like, this is what I need. This is what I appreciate. And I'm just sharing it with others.
Which is very important to you. You have shared that. And I would even say, because I know you personally, but fashion is your thing. Styling is your thing. And as an educator, you weren't doing that full time. But now with this rebirth that you're talking about and that you're going through right now, this transition, I would even say, you're doing it a lot more, right?
Even though I was fly as a teacher.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I was fly. My kids loved it. My girls especially.
Yes,
like they
look at
loved
this sweater.
it.
We can even go through now and talk about what you have on. But yes.
But it wasn't the norm. And I
Right,
think
exactly.
that's the like approach I took to it in education, where like obviously style had nothing to do with education, but I brought my personal style to it, where it was always a topic of a conversation like, oh, teachers should look like this.
Absolutely.
Teachers can look like this.
Yes. Which goes back to your authentic self. You are being you as an educator. And even though you weren't doing styling full time in education, you still modeled it. So you can say you were a model and you were a teacher at the same time.
Yeah.
But you showed up to work with full-fledged heels and a suit, or sometimes like a skirt that was really fly, or like a top, but it was well put together for teachers to see, like, oh well, yeah, this raises the
Like, you're
bar
a
for me.
professional,
Exactly.
right?
Yes. And it raises the standard or the bar for
Absolutely.
teachers that were not meeting that, because we both knew many teachers, when working together, were not meeting that standard.
Right,
But
right. And I
you
get it,
showed
because
up and
like
did that.
kindergarten teacher, preschool, you're on the floor, you're with the kids, but like I can be cute sitting on the floor. Like you don't have to lower the bar
Exactly.
just because of the
Exactly.
circumstances that you're in.
And it speaks to how you see yourself.
Right.
It is a reflection of you, which I want to go back to you again with how you see yourself is so important. I think you embody just a beautiful soul and this journey that you're on. What would you say to young girls that don't embody that right now, or learning how to love themselves and learning how to, show joy and show happiness to other people when inside they really can't?
Yeah. I mean, I think there's so many factors to it. Like, I understand why girls might not feel that way. Like, social media is like attacks like crazy, or not having parents who kind of fill your soul with like uplifting affirmations growing up, or just having like love for yourself, or having, the reasons why I feel that. And through this journey, I've kind of like discovered that. First of all, it's because my values in the Lord. Like, I know that like I'm a daughter of a king. And so that is what fills that's where my value lies. And then I did have parents who were very like affirming and loving. And then just growing up, my husband's also very affirming and loving. So I've been really blessed to have these relationships where I never had to question my value. But then, and that's what really has like helped me stand strong, because again, back to the situation, which I guess we'll share one day, because I keep talking about it like and not explaining what happened. That a piece of me was taken away, and that could have just like completely eradicated like my value, because I identified as an educator. I identified as like a leader in an education space. And when that was not part of me anymore, my value could have shattered, right? But it didn't. And so I was so happy. I was so blessed and like thankful that I have that self-value. So I guess for girls that are younger, that are watching, or women, anyone, is to like know where your value lies, and that your beauty or your gifts, whatever you bring, whatever you're proud of, like there's space for everyone. You don't have to be 5'9". You don't have to have beautiful hair. You don't have the best smile, or be the smartest in the room, or be the thinnest, or like there's space for everyone. And I think that's where I want to lean in, is like to create space for everyone. Like, I was an educator, and I still in my heart am an educator, but that doesn't mean there isn't space for me in the podcast.
And will always be an educator. Yes.
That doesn't mean there isn't room for me to create a podcast, because I'm not a podcaster or an influencer or whatever that might be. Is like owning who you are, no matter what you look like, what your past is, and creating space for yourself. Now that's 36 years in. Like, going back, reverting to 17, 15, I didn't have that confidence back then. I think it comes with age and experience. But I would tell girls, like, you're amazing. Let's figure out what you really love to do, what you're passionate about, because there is space for you in that realm.
What would you say to your 16, 17-year-old self at this now 36-year-old age?
I could not have pictured my life at all at 16. Like, leaving Chicago, I didn't want to leave. I didn't think I was ever going to leave. I knew I wanted to be a teacher, but like starting multiple schools at 36 was not also, I did not think that was going to happen. I was like, that happens when you're 50 plus with all these years of experience. Moving to Talbot County, which I didn't even know existed, just having the group of friends that I have here.
That's in the state of Maryland, for those that don't know. Yes.
So I would tell my 16-year-old self, like, just, you have no idea what's going to happen. Just keep showing up, learning about yourself, loving yourself, showing up authentically, and just being good to other people, like having those relationships, and things will happen. Like, I really do attribute like good things in life with how you treat other people. Like, I don't have a time in my life when I can go back and be like, oh my God, I was a really mean person to someone, or I regret doing this. And I think that really like showcases where your heart is. And so I've been blessed to have these opportunities to do the things that I've done at 36. And then there's hopefully so many more years ahead.
And Samantha, you're dropping a lot of really good nuggets. And the nuggets that I'm hearing you say is, one, that the gift that you have made room for you. So in education, being someone who loves style and fashion, what you're doing now, and then also what you reap, you also will sow. And that principle is clear for everything. It has nothing to do with just harvesting crops or like plantings. I know nothing about that, but, and I'm sure you don't either, but more importantly, how you treat people and what comes back around on the back end will come back around, whether that's good or bad for your harvest. And I'm saying that now because there is a 16 or 17-year-old girl that could be listening and realizes, wow, that's a testament of something that can really come out good, that doesn't know what they're doing or who they really are, and then see this vision for themselves that early, but still was able to accomplish so much. So one, shout out to you for that, and shine, to you, and just giving you that credit. And the flowers, I would even say, but this is important because there are young ladies that are dealing with this now that have no idea what's going to come down the line for them, or don't even know how that even to get to that point. And here you are modeling it today and showing us an example. So what brings you joy in this journey, in this rebirth that you're currently in right now?
What brings me joy? I mean, I love creating, which I never imagined myself or would explain or express who I am as a creator.
Okay.
But going back to like the schools, like I created and designed like schools and implementing new policies and stuff. And so on that end, I was like, oh, well, that's all education. But it was like a creative streak that I had, and like starting something new. And so I do love creating. My family brings me joy. I don't live near them, so being able to see them, spend time with them brings me so much joy. Just having good friendships, obviously taking care of how I look and how I present brings me joy. Like I know as a mom, that's hard. I was just having a conversation with Herson, my husband, earlier today. I went to the dentist yesterday with my daughter, and like mom after mom and after mom came in with like two kids, one kid, a little baby, and they all kind of look the same. And no, I understand it. Like, jeans with like a wrinkled hoodie with the hair up in a bun, which I understand. Like you have to get your kids out, you have to go to dentist appointment, you have to be on time. And I'm like, I couldn't do that. But like, what do I have to do in order to, it's not like I wake up and I'm like, I'm ready to go. I get up early and I prepare the day before and I like write what I'm going to wear, which is like extra and too much. But like that brings me joy, is knowing that I walk out the door and I'm presenting my best self, not for anyone else, but for myself.
For you.
Right? Or for my daughters. And we had that conversation too. Like you go out and you present yourself, but I'm also like, I represent my daughters, I represent my husband. And so that means something to me, and so I take that to heart, and so just presenting myself as the best version of myself, and not just physically but internally, how I talk to people, how I respond to situations, I guess just being like a good authentic person brings me joy. Like I can sleep well at night and I have peace knowing that like I'm doing right by myself and by other people.
Exactly. So many nuggets even in that, because again, you're a reflection of yourself. And when you step out, you're a reflection of others, as you mentioned, your husband and then your two girls. And as a mother, and what I heard you say, it sounds like another message is, even as a mom, you can still be fly.
Yes.
There was
and it's not
nothing wrong with
easy,
that, right?
but you have to put in the work, just like anything else.
Prioritizing that time. Exactly. Anything else in life. And I don't have kids and I'm single, but at the same time, I have to make sure I'm presentable for me, and what I represent is family and others in my life, but it's a reflection of who I am.
Right.
And that's why you're such a beautiful soul, because the reflection that other people can see is what you're presenting to the world, and why internalizing that first helps others to see it, naturally with the natural eye. I love it. That's
Thank
good.
you.
Look at that smile.
I did have braces.
Okay, but so, and shout out to those that have braces, because on my episode, those that didn't have braces, I let them know there's nothing wrong with braces, but we love your teeth the way they are.
Thank you. Coconut oil.
Okay, so give us a routine. You do so many routines on Instagram, and you show us like the process of it. Give us at least one routine that someone can take away and maybe start doing.
Okay, so my mornings, I love doing it. So when I don't take Oli to school, I wake up with her, I get her ready, do her hair. But then when she leaves, I do a cup of water with chia seeds every morning.
Okay.
I drink that. I let it sit for 10 minutes and then I drink that. And chia seeds have so many health benefits. So I do that before I drink coffee or anything else. Then I do 20 to 30 minutes of exercise. I stop like in between, like every 10 minutes and like do a breather, a stretch, and then do it because it's more like intensive, like hit. And then I read my devotion on my phone. It's like a 5-minute devotion. I take a shower. Then I make my coffee. And then I get ready. And then I can tackle everything else. Like that's what I have to do. And obviously I'm thankful to have the liberty to do that in the morning, to the flexibility. But like doing that, someone came over earlier today and she's like, that's how you look when you're at home. And I'm like, I have to. If not, like I'm just like lazy. If I don't work out and do my makeup and do my hair, then it's just like, just lay around the house, which is fine. Sometimes you have to do that. But like for me, looking and doing my makeup and my hair, like sets the tone for the rest of the day. So that's just something that, working out, meditation, devotion, coffee is
just more of that self-love, acceptance, and like on the journey of like being that beautiful person that you are.
Thank you.
Because it stamps who you are, but also helps you develop and grow and learn as you continue those types of practices. Because you didn't do that when you were probably 16 or 17.
No, not at all.
But you gained and you got into this path where you can at least do it all the time now. It's beautiful. It segues to the last question.
Okay.
Which is, what do you love about yourself?
Oh, what do I love myself? I would say the thing that comes to mind is determination. Like life has taken different turns that I never expected. Like leaving my family, leaving Chicago, moving to New York where I didn't know a soul. But I was like, I'm determined to figure out how to thrive here. Then we moved to the South Bronx, started a school. I was determined to be my best self and to be the best educator. And that's where I learned like my best practices. And then I became a new mom and I was like, what am I doing? But I was determined to be a great mom. Then moved to Cordova in the middle of nowhere where I was like, what am I doing here? But I was determined to make the best of it. So yeah, I love that like different things have come my way, but I am determined to see the best of it. And I understand that there's a reason why it came to me. And so I have to figure out a way to make it the best that I can.
Beautiful and well said.
Thank you.
This is Samantha Martinez, everyone. But there's so much more to you. So we'll definitely have to tap into that on a different episode. But thank you for having me back.
Of course.